Hello everyone. I thought I would show up tonight for a very brief impromptu reading just to kind of tap into the energy of this new moon. I've had a busy day. I'm sure many of you have been busy as well, but I didn't want to let this event go by without sort of seeing what we could accomplish over the next week or so. I love new moons because maybe blame it on my Capricorn ascendant side. I like to get stuff done. And this is a really good time to plant seeds, to make plans. And unlike full moons where we're releasing things and focusing on heavy emotions, there's a lot of power, a lot of opportunity that you can really start to play around with in these sort of fertile periods. Welcome everyone. Again, impromptu. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. This is one where we're going to kind of read in the flow, probably do a past, present, future, maybe do the elements, see whatever else comes to mind. Apollo's in the background making himself comfortable. In the meantime, let's get straight into it. Good to see everybody. This is for everybody that's present. I'll get that question sometimes when I do this. Again, we'll probably do something with the elements in just a few minutes. So fill out the poll and let me know how you're feeling, and I might pull a card based on that as well. All right, let's focus on past, present, and future influences in this new moon. All right, so I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, at least with that first card. It feels like many of you are starting to open up a little bit when it comes to relationships, when it comes to emotions. We have the Ace of Cups here. There is heightened sensitivity. So as I'm kind of looking at the poll here, I see a lot of you that say you are exhausted. 46%, it's actually the max amount here. So that doesn't surprise me. This sort of energy, maybe you've been putting like full throttle, a lot of energy towards your business, school, or some other endeavor in your life, and you're definitely sort of feeling at this point like you need to recharge. So take care of yourself tonight. This is my advice. Even though it's a new moon, and this is more sort of like full moon energy that I'm picking up on, I would say tonight is a good night after you set your intentions just to watch TV, curl up with a book, listen to some music, do something to celebrate the fact that hopefully you had a productive day, but either way, you've got to get that heart in a good space. So definitely focus on how you feel and do something that opens up the heart space, okay? So that's the first message here. Some of you have also been putting increased focus on the people that you love. So maybe over the past week or the past month since our last lunar reading here, that you've been really focusing on building, fixing, or developing relationships. So take care of you tonight. The Ace is one. It's about the relationship with self. I think too often we focus so much on others. Not so much on my channel, but a lot of times with astrology and with tarot, it's about your person, the people around you. And this card is really saying, how are you today? We'll do a little bit more with this one in a few moments here, but I care and I want you to take care of yourself too as well. Now let's focus on what the moon itself is bringing in. This is sort of like the foundation of why you feel the way you do, maybe why the exhaustion is setting in. And what we're picking up on right now here is this beautiful Nine of Wands, which is the survivor card. If we could put like a disco song to it, it would be I Will Survive, right? And we can see on almost every standard Rider-Waite-Smith card some form of indication that like they've been through it, right? So in this one, there's a little bit of a bandage, more of a headband on this one. But a lot of times you'll even see it with what she has on her hands there. She's kind of like gotten ready for the battle. She's wrapped it up, kind of like they do in like gymnastics. So basically what the Nine of Wands indicates is you may be going through a little bit of an internal struggle. Sometimes it's just pushing through to the finish line. You're looking at the couch and there's like 2 or 3 things you got to finish up on your computer and you're like, oh, I just want to go lay down. Yes, lay down, but finish up those 2 or 3 things so you can relax, so you can enjoy that TV show or that podcast or whatever it is you want to listen to. It's basically saying you are going to finish what you set out to finish. You have the will, you have the way. It's just a little bit of a nudge that you need. So maybe an accountability partner in your life that can help you stay motivated, or maybe just reminding yourself that it's going to be that much better to relax once this is done. If anybody tries to get you down, get the better of you, this is the card that's basically saying they picked the wrong person. You can do it, and there's actually some satisfaction that comes through in proving someone wrong. The best revenge is success. I don't believe in revenge, but to flip it around, it's just to live a happy, successful, and abundant life. Show the other people that they miscalculated, that you're really an amazing person. So don't give up, okay? And sometimes we just need to hear that. Don't give up. All right, what's going through in the future state here? We have the Nine of Swords. So some of you could be, and this is more for tomorrow, a little bit of this could be seeping into the live as you're watching it with me, but the Nine of Swords is fear, mostly just fear. Of all of the Swords cards, I actually, ironically, because it's about fear, I fear it the least. The cards that you definitely want to pay attention to would be like Five of Swords, Seven of Swords, Ten of Swords. Those are ones that require work. Three of Swords requires healing. This one, you're just in your headspace sometimes. So I don't worry about it so much in a spread. It's about self-care though. So, I mentioned earlier, if you are really kind of like dealing with a lot, because this is an emotionally charged card, then this is a time where you want to lean on others in your life. Talk to a friend, talk to your parents, talk to, a professional if you need to. Definitely don't burn the candle at both ends. This is a card of making sure that you're getting ample and quality sleep. Each and every body has a different sort of amount of sleep that they need, but definitely make sure that you're getting what your body needs. And if you're feeling, sometimes if we don't deal with our stress during the day, it comes out in dreams. Or if we don't deal with the sadness or whatever emotion we might be dealing with, it's going to play out in the sort of cinema of your mind and dreams. So pay attention to what your dreams are telling you. And again, reach out and ask for some help if you need it. Ultimately, the Nine of Swords is saying, don't worry about what you can't control. Focus on where the energy is opening up to you. Focus on what you can have an effect on. And these are going to be better ways to sort of travel through things. Let me just look at these cards here for a second. I'm going to pull one clarification for the Nine of Swords with the question, basically, what can you do to take care of yourself a little bit more? Okay, I like this. The Eight of Pentacles is a really great card. I was actually, I can't remember because I do a lot of videos, about 50 a month, so it's getting harder with so many that I do. But for one of the signs, one of the channeled messages was about journaling. And this is totally, it can connect to any artistic endeavor like pottery or, knitting or journaling or painting. We can even see someone here with like a stylus doing something on her, mobile device. So one thing that you could do is channel your creative or your frustrated energy into something artistic and get it out. And then maybe talk about that or share it with somebody. The other thing here is that for some of you, fear can be overcome by knowledge and research. This is definitely a learning card. So it came through reverse, which might be a fear of, can I master this? Guess what? Eight of Pentacles isn't mastery. It's only learning. I say only in a sort of like playful way. Three of Pentacles means like, yeah, you got to master it. You got to teach it. You have to be okay with it. But Eight of Pentacles is just saying anything that I do that it can expand my knowledge, it constitutes success. I'm that much wiser than I was before I started. So don't measure progress so much as just open yourself up to learning and receiving. And that's really what this is about. Anything you can do over the course of the next week to educate, inspire, somehow open up your intuition, your intellect, that's going to help you get out of your head when it comes to the fear components of this spread. Okay? I'm going to stick with these cards. I'm going to put them back in the deck. I just felt like I wanted to go with this deck tonight. It's a colorful version of Rider-Waite-Smith, but I just wanted Rider-Waite-Smith because I want to read fast and I don't want to have to reinterpret cards. So that's why we're doing this. We're going to do the elements. So let me just get to the right screen here. This is going to be now where I kind of get in a little bit more detail for fire, earth, air, and water. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. I'm going to need to shuffle this a couple of times, so please be patient. Let me see how everybody's doing when I look at this. Yes, we still have a lot of exhaustion. So when I get to the next piece, I'll take a look at how to kind of like get out of that. And that's going to be it. I like to keep these quick, these impromptu ones, partially because I've been working all day myself. I just got finished with tomorrow's one card pull. I've been working on planning for the podcast. I've been busy all day and I just need, I need to break too, but I didn't want to stop without looking at this because, Yeah, it's good for both of us. All right. Let's take a deep breath here. Again, I'm going to focus on fire, earth, air, and water. Let's see what the cards have to say. Fire, here we go again. Earth, air, and water. All right, let's pull them all one by one. We'll talk a little bit more about this. Okay, so fire, we get a repeat with you, but that's okay. The card is in reverse. Again, focusing on what I talked about earlier, getting in the flow of something creative is where the power is, because when you are, it's kind of like the magician. Once you start to channel and sort of focus the energy, you become more open to inspiration. You can start to really see things. As someone who writes, especially if we're going to look at this from a creative point of view, or just even sort of like an insightful point of view, what this is teaching you is patterns. So if you consistently, I keep a dream journal, but if you were to sort of keep a journal for your day-to-day life, and you go back and read something maybe from a year ago or a decade ago, you might not even recognize that person. You'd think, why are they worried about this? Why was I ever caring about this? Or if you download a dream, I had a voice memo that I re-listened to. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about some of that stuff. I'm glad I actually recorded that because it was more, interesting or profound than I thought. Do yourself a credit and record stuff. You'll start to see like a jigsaw puzzle, all of these things starting to come together, or like a tapestry. And it's through that sort of reflection and recording and going back and forth between the two that you'll figure things out. Taking it away from all of that, this is a week to look at the fine print, the details. This is something else that I can discern from this card that's different than what we already talked about. Editing, revising, reviewing, something that has come through a few times as well. All right. So this is for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You're going to have a productive week. You may be surprised by what you put down on paper. Sometimes it just takes the energy of putting the pen to paper, and then you're like, wow, I didn't know I had that in me. Okay. Moving from my fire signs to earth, this is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Finding your footing. Whenever we have the Two of Pentacles, it is about balance. It's also about work-life balance. So for some of you, you may be putting too much energy in one or the other. So maybe relationships have been taking a big part of your sort of like your time out, and you're not really focusing on studies or work, or vice versa. You miss your family, you miss your friends. So this is basically saying set the priorities straight. The good news with the Two of Pentacles is you typically have, typically have two things that are pulling at your energy, two things that you love. And so it's just a matter of boundaries. And we talked a little bit about this with my one card pull for tomorrow, which is Seven of Pentacles, not pulling yourself too thin. Both of these cards have a tendency to do that. This one, you can't afford to do it as much. There's going to be like quick repercussions. So definitely get comfortable with the word no this week. Focus on one thing that you can really see a lot of return on. And obviously, when it comes to finances, whenever we get this card, you don't want to go overboard. So being frugal, being careful, being mindful is definitely good. But I tend not to read this solely as a card of financial balance. So the good news with all of my earth signs here, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, you're pretty good with this. Just don't be afraid to look at kind of like the Eight of Pentacles, look at the details. And in your heart, the way that you can kind of balance out the Two of Pentacles is just like what feels right? Sometimes we're convinced by someone or pressured by someone to do something that we don't want to do. So don't do that. Follow your heart, and it's not going to lead you astray. Moving on to air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on for you. You've got a lot to focus on. We have the Four of Cups in reverse. Here's an interesting thing with this. I actually like the Four of Cups because right in the corner, if I zoom in there, you can see like there's a hidden ace here. If we were to just kind of like take the woman out, take the cups out, it's an opportunity. There could be an inconvenient opportunity, like love could be knocking on the door. There could be creative inspiration coming through when you're trying to be focusing on something else. And if you read her shirt, she's like, I'm over it. Just about the time you're over something is when it starts to get exciting. The card was reversed, so it's saying be open to happy surprises. Don't overlook an opportunity just because you're over it, exhausted, or tired. And kind of like I did tonight. The minute I came on, especially with the energy, I feel good. I'm glad I did it. It's just a matter of getting it all organized, because I thought to myself, do I want to do this? I pulled a card and the card told me to do it. So, so I did it, but it kind of like, sometimes you just have to show up and then look around. Something could be easier than you think. And who doesn't want to hear that? That's actually good news. But the thing with the Four of Cups, we can kind of think of it as, actually on one of my card decks, I'm trying to remember which one, but I think it's Rachel True's, the True Heart Intuitive. You lift up one of the cups and there's a rose under it. So you have to kind of, it's almost like lifting up stones to see what's underneath. You have to do a little bit of digging this week. But if you do that, you'll be happy with the progress. And some of it is just what's on her shirt. You have to get over being over something. One thing that I always like to remind folks is if you feel boredom, dissatisfaction, or disinterest, it's sort of a wake-up call. Why are you doing what you're doing? Look around, see if there's something else that's a little bit more deserving of your time and energy, and something that's a lot easier for you to get into, okay? But overall, we like that there could be unexpected partnership opportunities. Something could be easier. There could be an opportunity knocking, but it's all about your awareness, your perception, and getting over that feeling of, I don't care, I don't want to do it. We all have those kind of like toddler moments that pop up. Looking at my water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, self-care is coming through. So Five of Pentacles is about healing the inner child. A lot of times the Five of Pentacles energy comes from something from youth, teacher, parent, sibling energy, where there was something denied or something said or something done, and it reverberates through our adulthood. But even as an adult, we can experience some rejection that makes us feel like a little kid again. So, there are bosses and friends and people in your life that know exactly how to push your buttons. They know exactly how to make you feel a certain way, but you're not going to let them make you feel that way this week. One thing here also is this is about not accepting less than one's worth. Four and Five of Pentacles both carry that message, but definitely the Five of Pentacles. Some of you are giving away too much time, too much energy, and you know it too. You're like, I shouldn't care about this so much, but I do. So this week, pull back a little bit, raise your hand if you're overwhelmed and ask for more help. And when it comes to things like negotiating or again, maybe someone just hasn't paid you or something like that, this is really about making sure that that doesn't continue. This is balancing, well, you would see the balancing of the scales in the Six of Pentacles, interestingly enough. So once you do that, you're going to find your balance, okay? Final message here is sometimes the two people in the Five of Pentacles, it's like the one hurt person trying to heal another hurt person. And really what you can just focus on is healing yourself. Neither of these people are able to help one another because they're in pain or they're having a hard time empathizing. So sometimes the people that hurt us are hurt themselves. So when you can start to see that, when you can start to focus on yourself, that's going to help you move past situations that are frustrating as well. Okay, everybody's exhausted or seems to be exhausted. I'm going to pull another card here just to kind of like see what's going on with that. Let's give Apollo a hug because he's having a moment here. Hey, buddy. He's getting his haircut this week, so he's going to be a little scruffy. Look at that bed head. I know, buddy. He says, Dad, normally we would be hanging out, so we'll do that in just a second, but a little bit of love to Mr. Apollo since he's having fun with his bed, and he's going to go right back to it. All right, let's do one more card here with the the last unicorn. All right, so what can everybody do to focus on overcoming exhaustion and finding your sort of recharging, finding your energy again? This deck is so beautiful. Even in shuffling it, it's beautiful. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles coming through yet again. Better choices. I mean, this card keeps coming up for us tonight, so I would say the main thing here is you can't be everything to everyone. I do like that. I need to rewatch this movie. I saw it as a kid, but I need to rewatch it. It's probably been about 10 years, but I believe he's a magician. So it's kind of interesting that they pulled the magician character up for the Two of Pentacles because basically it's saying you can make this work, you can make this happen, even if it seems like it's very, very difficult. So part of this is here, part of this is here, and then it's putting it to practice and kind of like making something happen. So saying no is going to be so important this week, and then saying yes to the thing that you want to do. And I think if you can do that in this moment in time, then that's when the magic starts to happen. One for the road, taking it away from the exhaustion. Let me end that poll since we kind of looked at that. And what I'd like to focus on now is just parting words, any advice before we wrap up. And then I feel like we're in a good place. All right, so let's turn the camera down so you can see me shuffle. So one last thing, we're gonna just be focusing on one thing for the road. What's the hidden blessing in this new moon? Healing. Sorry, the camera's off center there a little bit, but we have the Three of Swords in reverse. And this is really focusing on letting go. So in the upright position, it might be a fresh wound. A lot of times when the card is reversed, it's saying, I'm choosing to move towards something that allows me to be happy. I'm letting go of some final things that might be holding me back in my life. Some of you might have gotten a disappointment in, whether it was maybe something with money, something with work, or you could be healing, having lost someone or something. And this is really saying in this period of time, the best thing you can do is take care of your heart. And if there's anything in your life that just doesn't make you happy, really try to find a way to move beyond it. It doesn't necessarily have to happen today, tomorrow, or next week, but make it happen soon. You owe it to yourself to be happy, and you have what it takes. Again, with this Magician here, with the Two of Pentacles as well, it's kind of like two cards superimposed. It's just sort of like saying, let's take a little bit of that, put this here, let's take that, move it here, and goodbye to the stuff that's making me feel not happy because I don't have the time or the energy for that anymore. All right, everyone, I like to keep these short, and that's basically what this is all about. Please give me a subscribe. We are so close to our milestone. I think we might be able to hit it before the end of the month. I will do a Q&A video if we do that. So I hope we can get there. You can also follow me across social media. Remember, it's always my name, no additions with characters or numbers. There's a lot of fake people out there trying to be someone that they're not. So remember, I don't give readings. I'm not going to direct message you. I don't have Telegram. So if anybody comments, or I'm pretty good. It's like whack-a-mole. I try to get rid of those, but they keep popping up. So use your best, use your common sense on that. I want to say thanks to everybody who gave back with super stickers, super chat. I'll try to take a couple moments here to acknowledge you, and then we'll wrap up for today. All right, so let's take a quick look at, I'll start with the stickers because they're a little bit easier to spot, and then I'll see if there's any members. So we'll start first with super stickers for this. It looks like we got a few. I appreciate that. So Adrian, Rachel, Chelsea, Nikki, Sugar Shaker, and Diana, thank you for showing up and for giving a little bit of love there. I do appreciate that. And let me take a quick look and see if we had any new members during, well, today. I'll do anything that anybody that joined today. So let's see here. Yeah, we have a few. So Craig, Veronica, Inspire Me, and Rini, thank you so much for being members. Some of you joining, some of you rejoining. Good to have you. And like I said, once I get to the milestone, and again, we're only 2,000 away. We're really close. I'm so surprised we got there so quickly. But once we get there, I'll do a Q&A, and I'll put out sort of an opportunity for members and Patreon supporters to ask a question. All right, thank you, Janet and Melissa. I'm looking on my side monitor. I see you also just gave a couple stickers too. So, all right, everybody, I hope you like these. If you like them, leave me a comment in the sort of section below. Put a new moon symbol or any of the moons and let me know what you're up to, what resonated, what you'd like to see in future sort of celestial forecasts. And in the meantime, sending you lots of love. Be kind to yourself. Work on that healing. And again, I'll see you soon. Reminder, I'm here every Monday, Thursday, Friday for monthlies, every Sunday for a weekly, and I do my daily videos as well. All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks for showing up tonight. Bye-bye.